What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ICNV Drives Edition. We are still out here at Carlisle, and right now we're heading back for day 2 of festivities. So stay tuned for that video. But really quick, I want to drop a video since Rick Conti let it out the bag about the abused allocation process. Let's talk about it. Before we get too deep in this conversation, please hit the like, subscribe to the channel. We have interesting topics, we have interesting discussions. And this is one of those discussions, honestly, I've been putting off for a while. A couple people have asked me. I've even told a couple people on how to do this, which I wonder if is that the problem. So I had a video I made literally about 18 months ago, and it was called How to Order a C8. Then I decided to revamp it, maybe, I want to say back in February of this year, March actually, when I was going to try to order a C8 Z06, but some life situations happened and I wasn't able to do it. And that's kind of why I've been putting on the back burner and I never released the video. And I've even told this to a couple people, because I've been talking about it for a while, that one reason I didn't want to talk about it was because I felt like once you bring it out or you tell somebody about it, it's going to get abused. And if you don't believe me, and maybe he's watching this video, he can validate it. I've actually told Swole 55, I've told C4 and the C8, and a couple other people I've met on how to actually order a C8 or a C8 Z06 if they actually wanted to get one early or when they wanted to get it at all. Okay. So, with that being said, the actual key to getting a C8 has always been, matter of fact, let's take a step back. I'm going to tell you about a situation that happened with me. Okay, so back in, I want to say November, December of 2020, I decided to order a C8. And a lot of people were saying they had a list. And because I used to sell cars, I always knew how to avoid the list. Many people told me I couldn't do it. So it's whatever, you know me, I have to prove people wrong sometimes. If you know me, every now and then I would do that. So ultimately what I did was I went to a small dealership in Iowa. They were the only dealership that was willing to do what I asked. And that's a key thing I'm telling you, because I was asking for somebody to looking for cars. Sorry. I was asking for somebody to take the time and actually put my order into Workbench and allow it to get picked up by GM. I had several dealers tell me no, or should not so much say no. A lot of the dealers that had lists didn't want to submit my order until they felt my time came up on their list. Several other dealers didn't believe because they weren't getting any allocations or weren't expecting to get any allocations, they wouldn't do it. So what ended up happening was I made a deal with a dealership in Iowa that to submit my order the way I build it out, and if I got the car within 6 months, I would actually pay them $15,000 over MSRP. Now, why is this such a topic to me? Well, because at that point in time, 10 grand over MSRP, and they were steadily climbing. And not only were they steadily climbing, any dealership I talked to on the other side that was a bigger dealership was telling me anywhere from a year to a year and a half out, and I wasn't going to wait that long for a car. So I contacted a small dealership in Iowa, and the key item I ordered, I built my car out, inspected the way I wanted, which was a 2LT. A lot of color deletes. I was getting torch red, Trident wheels with the, pretty much you've seen the car I posted in several videos because the dealership kind of screwed me on the back end. The key to the whole purchase was, and the key that Rick Conti came out and just said yesterday, well, I feel like the cat is out the bag because he has way more viewers than I do, is that I ordered the special van request. Now, the reason why I ordered the special van request, because to me, the special van request is nothing but you paying GM $5,000 for an over MSRP payment. Because other than that, it has no value. When you look at the MSRP of a car and it has special van request on it and it's an additional $5,000, when it goes to the resale market, nobody cares that it had a special van request. Even when you talk to, you know, the insurance company or your bank when it comes to financing, nobody cares that it's a special van request. But the whole purpose of the special van request is GM pulls that vehicle early and gives it a VIN number so it doesn't happen to have the VIN number taken by another unit. So I put my car in as a special van request. I really want to say somewhere during the last ordering cycle of 2020, which I believe was late November, early December. I want to say it was actually like January. But, you know, at this point in time, it's kind of hard to keep up with that far going back. I can go try to find the documentation, but at this point, I'm out at Carlisle, so I don't have all this information readily available for me. And so with the special van request, to speed this whole process up, is the car was built and delivered in March. And that's the whole thing behind it. The car was built and delivered within 3 months. And so because that's how quick the process took place, not to mention, I ordered it from a dealership that wasn't expecting to get any allocations. So to me, and like I've said in so many other videos, that is the one option that GM has been looking for because it has no monetary value other than the fact that you're giving GM $5,000 to get an early VIN allocation. And they're pulling those vehicles early. If you look at a lot of the vehicles that got pulled, and like Rick Conti is now saying it in frustration, is that a lot of the vehicles that got pulled for early allocations were the special VIN requests. And I knew that was going to happen. Not only did I know it was going to happen, I also knew that you could go to a dealership with no allocations and submit a special VIN request order, and because of how GM works, they will pull that order because you're giving them technically an over $5,000 MSRP payment. That's literally how I've always looked at it. And so that's what's been happening. And like Rick Conti said, the reason why I never wanted to come out and say this at first was I knew once that information got released, people were going to abuse it. And apparently it's being abused by a lot of dealers right now, especially for customers who are already complaining about pricing. Now to add an additional $5,000 on top of the Z06 price to actually just get an earlier built car, well, that's what a lot of people are doing. That's what a lot of dealers are doing. And that's why I told you people all the time, don't think dealerships don't know how to play the game. It's you guys that don't. Anybody inside a dealer who has any true knowledge or experience with the whole sales side of this, especially when it comes to Corvettes and special order vehicles, this is what you do to get a car. I learned this process back when the C7ZR1 came out. People that put in for a special VIN request, they got a car. There was dealers that ordered the car with a special VIN request with no customer to sell the car 20 to 30 grand over MSRP. And now I know some of you sitting there saying, what? Yes, in the Chicagoland area, there were several dealers that ordered 2019 ZR1s with special VIN requests. The car came in and then they sold the car for $30,000, $20,000, $25,000 over MSRP. I literally met people when I was at car events back then, sitting there saying I just refused to give a dealership $30,000 over MSRP for a ZR1, and I'm probably not even going to keep it. Now I do 20, but I won't do 30, which takes me into a whole nother topic when it comes to this whole over MSRP paying for the new Z06. Is there are a lot of people that are willing to pay that type of money because they have it, and they don't care about the whole logical cost factor. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. I just real quick wanted to drop a video about this because Rick Conti let the information out the bag, and since he let it out, I might as well go ahead and tell you guys. And if you watch any of my past videos, I kept saying, hey, chasing the Z06, X, Y, and Z. Realistically, that was my ace in the hole to get in the car. It's out the bag now. My ace in the hole was I was going to go to a small dealer when I was ready, make some form of MSRP overpayment arrangement for a dealership that wasn't expected to ever see a Z06. And then I was going to have them order my car and put it in workbench and let Chevy pull it. Cat's out the bag. So that's the conclusion, I guess, to chase the Z06. But I'm going to drop the other video so you can see what information came from me chasing the Z06, because it's actually kind of interesting. So I'm going to stop holding on to that video and go ahead and finish the edit and drop it. But that's the key to ordering a C8 or a C8 Z06 if you want to get your car quickly. Put in a special VIN request, but here's the catch-22. Your dealer has to put the order in the system so GM can see it sitting there and pull it. So if you're in line at Sioka, if you're in line at McMokin, Les Stanfield, dealerships that know they're going to get cars regardless, they won't push your special VIN request to the front of the line. They won't even put it in the system until it's time for you to come up on their list. Trust me, I know, because I asked them to, and they told me no, which is why I went to a dealership in Iowa. So now, when you sit there and say this, well, now this information is out, maybe they'll change their tune now, who knows, but I seriously doubt it, because like I said, they're going to get allocations one way or the other. It's the small guy who doesn't usually get a lot of allocations that will do this. Also, not to mention that, going back one more time before I close out this video, remember I told you guys before, GM doesn't allocate all the allocation slots they have available to dealers. There are a few slots they usually keep available just in case, and this was the just in case I was talking about. They keep a few slots available so every ordering cycle they can pull or build a special request VIN vehicle. They keep a few ordering slots open so they can build a lemon law vehicle that got taken back, or a vehicle they need to replace. I was explaining this before. I think I explained it when the tornado hit Bowling Green, is that a large amount of the production they could replace quickly because they have allocation slots in every cycle that they weren't assigned. They'll just assign them to those cars. Well, anyway, that's a lot. It's a mouthful, but the information is out now. Do with it as you please. I hope it helps you in your journey to get a Z06 a lot quicker. But until the next video, stay blessed, stay safe. ICNV Drivers Edition. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. Share the video, because this information was crucial, and I'm sure a lot of people want to talk about it, and some of you want to know about it. I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you in these streets. Peace.